What's up, Table Rock Fishing Intel Pro members? Eric Prey, Focus Fishing Guide Service, Table Rock Fishing Intel. Got another video fishing report for you for Table Rock. It is Tuesday, October the 17th. Pretty much been out on the water almost every day, except for today. Took today off. Spent the weekend in the cold and wind out there fishing, so decided I need a day off. But the bite's been good. Bite's changing a little bit. Got a few things going on. As far as our lake level is concerned, we're at 913.63, puts us 3.5 feet down more or less. Core ran a lot of water yesterday, ran a little water today. Not sure why, but they're dropping the lake a little bit. Water temperature is a bigger story. We are down around 70 degrees. Pretty much everywhere I've been, it's been either 69 to about 71 and a half. So not a whole lot of warm water to be found, but that's okay. It's getting everything moving, it's getting the fish moving, making things a little bit better, a little bit more like fall versus the summertime pattern we've been stuck in since June. Do want to let you guys know that Extreme Sports in Branson West does have a new website that is up, extremeoutdoors.us, and they are offering a special right now, 10% off your order. Basically anything you order from extremeoutdoors.us, you will get 10% off if you use the promo code EXTFALL at checkout. You'll get 10% off your order, and that's extremeoutdoors.us. So check out their new website and order some stuff from them and save yourself a little bit of money. If you're coming down though, and you're gonna fish the lower end of the lake, lower end's still tough. It's still not great. Drop shot bite's still there. Most of the drop shot fish are coming off of long gravel points, off of humps, off of islands, but they're deep. They're deeper than they have been. 30 to 40 seems to be the norm right now. Not necessarily glued to the bottom, but fairly close to the bottom. Most of those fish, I mean, you're not seeing big groups of them. You're not seeing the big schools of shad yet. So they're kind of scattered, they're kind of roaming, but I have been catching them on a shad-shaped cut tail, UV drop shot worm, or Chomper's drop shot worm out there. It's just a grind. I mean, that's probably the best bite, but it's still a grind. You can catch a few dragon, either a Pee Wee HD or a heavy cover football jig, either one. And again, those fish are a little bit deeper as well, unless it's cloudy and windy. If it's cloudy and windy, they'll be up there 10 to 20. If it is bright blue skies, no wind, they're 20 to 30 foot deep out there, and most of them are hanging on some sort of cover, whether it be a brush pile or a tree or a log or something that happens to be on the bottom. They're hanging pretty close to the cover, so keep that in mind if you want to go down dragon. I went up Long Creek last week looking for a shallow bite, did find some up a little shallower on the channel swing banks and the creeks up there and on the main lake. Most of them we caught were on a jig. We were using just the regular spider jig from Jewel, this Okeechobee Blue, with a Versacross trailer on it. Most of them, you had to put it right on the bank to get bit, so they were up there dirt shallow. But these are steeper banks, so you throw it up there and it may fall 3 feet right as soon as it hits the water. Did throw a buzzbait, did throw a plopper a little bit, had some blow-ups on both, but really nothing great to report. Feels like since that shad is pulled out, that the buzzbait plopper bite might be going away from us a little bit. But still catching them, still a decent bite down there by the dam. Go to the mid-lake area. The mid-lake has been okay. The drop shot bite's about the same as it is everywhere else. If you're so inclined to go fish deep with a drop shot or a spoon or something like that. Our schools in Kentucky just have not made it out there to their winter habitat yet. They're kind of in transition, so they're in that 30 to 40 foot range, pretty close to the bottom, not really schooled up, but you can certainly find some out there on a shad shape or a cut tail or a UV drop shot worm. You got to work them a little bit, you got to move around a little bit, but you can certainly catch some fish doing that. The dragging bite has been better there with a jig. Either the Pee Wee HD football jig or the heavy cover football jig have been my two best jigs. Hail Mary's been my best color in the Pee Wee, and actually peanut butter and jelly has been my best color in the heavy cover. And those fish have been, if it's, again, cloudy and windy like it was over the weekend, they're pretty shallow. They're 8 to 10, 8 to 15 foot deep. I mean, you're not gonna find stacks of them, but you can catch enough to keep your interest up that shallow. Once, if it's slick, sunny, calm, you got to back out. Most of those fish are going to be 25 to 35 foot deep. And again, any wood cover, brush pile, lay down, standing timber is going to hold more fish than just a barren bank. So keep that in mind. Top water bite in the mid lake was pretty dismal, to be honest with you. I think I had 1 or 2 blow-ups on a plopper, and I caught 1 on a buzzbait nope, 2 on a buzzbait last week towards the backs of the creeks, but not in the back. I mean, they were about halfway back on the channel swings where the shad were. So you still can do that a little bit. Over the weekend, a lot of guys, and even us, we caught a few on a wiggle wart and a rock crawler, basically hitting the steeper banks that had wind blowing on them. So if you get wind, a little bit of cloud cover, you can certainly throw a crankbait right now and catch a few fish as well. Go up into the James. The dragon bite is definitely better up the James than anywhere else in the lake. Pee Wee HD, football jig, and heavy cover football jig. Both of them have been better up there. Got a little bit of stain to the water. I was up the James yesterday, caught them actually on a Pee Wee spider, but everything was around wood. With the exception of first thing in the morning, we caught a few right up on the bank, but once the sun came out, once we lost our shade, everything was relating to wood, whether it was standing timber or brush piles, anywhere from 15 to 25 foot deep, all on wood. So keep that in mind if you're going to go up the James. Buzzbait plopper bite yesterday was no bueno. I don't think we even had a blow up on a buzzbait or a plopper, but it has been good, especially about mid to 3/4 of the way back in the creeks. And any of those bluff cuts or kind of bluff breakdowns where it changes from big rock to small rock, you can catch a few on that, and you can catch a few in those bluff cuts if there's some wood in them. Wood really seems to be key for both of those, both the buzzbait and the plopper right now. So if you can get around some wood on some steeper banks, you're going to have a lot better luck than just going down the bank and throwing it at nothing. Other than that, the crankbait bite up there was strong over the weekend as well, with the cloud cover and the rain and the wind. Rock crawler or wiggle wart on those channel swing banks. It's not spring, so you're not going to go down the bank and catch 50 fish. But if you cover enough water, throwing a crankbait, whether it be a rock crawler or wiggle wart or whatever you like to throw, Bandit 300, whatever it may be, if you cover enough water in the right water, you are going to be able to put some fish in the boat on a crankbait right now up the James as well. Go up the White River, and spent some time up the White River last week as well. Actually, I think I did 2 trips up there. Again, drop shot bite, shad shaped cut tail, UV drop shot worm, and chompers drop shot worm. Most of those fish catch a few out of trees. You can catch a few off the ends of docks, but the most consistent bite is out on those long gravel points, gravel flats, 30 to 35 to 40 feet deep. And you got to move around a lot, guys. That's the other thing that'll drive you crazy, because you'll find a group and maybe catch 1, maybe 2 out of that group, and they'll kind of shut down or they'll move off on you. So there's a lot of moving around to stay on these fish. If you can find some deeper brush, that has been holding them a little bit better, but you're going to still move around quite a bit to stay on these fish and catch quite a few fish if you're going to be out there drop shotting. Dragon bite with a Pee Wee HD football or the heavy cover football jig. Both of those have been good. Again, windy, cloudy. You can get up there a little bit shallower, 8 to about 15. If it's sunny, bright, bluer sky, you have to back out. You're going to have to get out there 15 to 30, even 35 foot deep, looking for those deep brush piles again. It's kind of the same fish that you're catching on a drop shot rig you can catch on a football jig or Pee Wee football jig if it's a calm day. If it's windy and cloudy, get up there shallow, but if it's a calm day, you need to move out there. Those same fish that we're catching on a drop shot rig, you can catch those. Again, windy and cloudy. You can chase those fish with a crankbait as well on the steeper banks. And if it's windy and cloudy this weekend, that's what I would do. I would get up on the bank, I'd throw a wiggle wart, I'd throw a rock crawler, and keep that bait in less than 10 foot of water, and just try to cover water. You're not going to get a ton of bites, but you're going to catch fish if you get up there shallow this weekend, if it's windy and it's cloudy. If it's sunny and calm, you're going to have to drop shot or get out there with a jig and drag, or go up a river, or go about half or 3/4 way back in the creeks and look for those channel swing banks and throw either buzzbait or a plopper, or even throw your jig up there right up against the bank. That's been producing a few fish as well. But if you've got shade, if you've got one side if you've got a channel swing that's got shade and some wood on it, I would fish that over one that's right in the direct sunlight. But if there's no shad there, you're just kind of wasting your time. So really, the fish are following the shad. The shad are working their way back into the backs of the creeks, but you get a massive cold snap like we have, and it pushes them back towards the middle of the creek. that slows that bite down. Hopefully by the weekend, temperatures will stabilize enough that those shad and the fish will start moving back to the backs of the creeks again. Guys, we're halfway through October and we're starting to get into a serious fall bite. It's really starting to seem like fall, felt like fall over the weekend. Really think we're gonna have a good fall bite this year. Best way to know, of course, use your Table Rock Fishing Intel Pro membership to stay on top of it. We've had a ton of reports this past week, so stay on top of that. Probably gonna have a bunch more reports this week. I know most of the guides are working all week, so we're gonna have a lot of reports for you through the rest of the week and through the weekend. But if you're coming down, wanna hire a guide, give me a call. It's Focus Fishing Guide Service. You can reach me at 417-860-4743 or hit my website, focusfishing.com. You can either book online or just shoot me an email. Either way, I get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching the videos. Thanks for being Table Rock Fishing Intel Pro members. And check out extremeoutdoors.us to save 10% with your promo code. Thanks for watching. Can't wait to hear from you. We'll see you on the water.